Hello, hello. What y'all doing? How y'all day go? I got my blanket. I'm just gonna use that. I'm not going to get a robe today. Hola. What y'all doing over there? Ooh. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Good morning, Auntie. Good morning, y'all. Good morning, Miss Jones. Good morning, everybody. Yeah, I don't know if these glasses is making my eyes worse or better. I'm trying to figure it out. They help, but then they don't help. Hey, Justice. Hey, Kat. Hey, everybody. How y'all doing this morning? I'm grateful God has been waking me up earlier in the day, so I'm able to get more done, which I'm grateful for. Planning lunch, it looks to be a busy work day. That part, Auntie. And your niece been working off of here a lot, trying to get my life together. Today is my mama's birthday, and tomorrow is her birthday too. Ain't that crazy? So I called her this morning and told her happy birthday. You're in Minnesota on vacation. Ooh, have a good time, girl. You guys have a great time. Why does that seem like it's so far? Because it is. This is so weird. Good morning, everybody. I just got power back going to clean up. Interesting. Good morning, Antoinette. Y'all power keep going off. That's so crazy. I don't know what's going on with these classes. They don't be doing right. I know that. We just gonna figure it out. It's your daughter's 25th birthday. Not your daughter and my mama got the same birthday. Tell my niece Pooh I said happy birthday. Is she mean? Because, baby, cancers be a different type of breed. Listen. They be different people. Not all of them, but most. They different. Sorry to my cancers in here. I love y'all, but y'all be different. Y'all be a little different. Just a little bit. Started my week vacation, birthday Wednesday. Power. Your power off too? She the sweetest. Okay, that's your doing, Kiva. That's your doing. Storm, flooding, trees, power lines down. Where are you, Miss Lady? Are you in Texas? Are you in Texas? Oh, I need to screenshot this because North Carolina's flooding right now. Girl, stop playing with me. This is crazy. The power is off in Florida? Oh my God. Wait a minute. Some of them, Justice. Some of them. Yeah, it's some flooding in my city in North Carolina too. Where? Oh, at the lake, it washed part of the rails down. Oh my God. So Texas is flooding. North Carolina is flooding and without power. And Florida is without power too. Some of them, girl. I done met a lot, and I don't fool with a lot of them. You tried to send me pictures, but couldn't. OMG. Okay, family. Well, I was just telling my mom about this morning. And I was telling somebody yesterday, I said, listen, Moore County, several people in my family and different things have said that I've been getting on here telling y'all stuff and y'all don't need to be listening to me, right? But every time something like that happens, it just reminds me that I am supposed to be telling y'all the stuff that I'm supposed to tell y'all, whether my family and friends agree with it or not. Had my bulb, solar generator, and supply. You said it has to be near the coastal area of North Carolina. Interesting. Listen, thank you. Listen. Do y'all see this though? We ready. Ready. We thank God that you are obedient to him. Nisi Poo! Chapel Hill, North Carolina. A place where it doesn't normally flood is flooding. Not a coastal city. Yes, I was stuck coming back home from Ohio because the power was out and no one could use their car to get gas. Oh my goodness. Thank God I had a gas tank. Bow! I knew what to do. I was praying and had to ask God for guidance. Come on, fucking butt! Oh, you said what? You said that we prepared so we don't gotta be scared. I'm done driving home. That was scary. Listen, but didn't I talk about people gonna be getting trapped in places? Didn't we talk? I was just trying to tell my mama all of this morning. Did I get on here with y'all? And it's everything in our conversation. Amen. Now, I said to my mama today, because she kept, and I know when she's talking about me to me, I love my mama, but it's the truth. And people telling people they need to store up and stock up stuff. They need to make sure they so ready. I already worked on that first. We work on that every day. Yeah, but I know you talking about me. It's okay. But guess what? When I feel some type of way about that, every single time I get, and parts of Fort Bragg, exactly. I had just finished the rewatch yesterday. You said charge your stuff up. And now have your supplies ready. And knowing, oh my goodness. Let me, because people don't be believing me. I'm going to keep listening to my daddy. Let me go back and get Antoinette's. Because people do not be believing when I be telling them that it's real out here. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Good morning, Rika. Good morning, Isabel. Good morning. That passive-aggressive nonsense makes me sick. Just say what you mean. Don't side talk me. Auntie, it's a big thing in my family. That's why I just come over here and say what I'm going to say. I love you, but I'm about to tell you what I got to say. We ain't about to be walking around with that. You see what I'm saying? Because she's talking to my first spiritual godmother, right? But this is the one that I told y'all. Like, this is the lady that saw the chain link fence of angels around her house. And her husband was really deep into Palamambe, and they found him in Chicago in the back of his trunk. They had been looking for him for 2 months. This was like early 90s or something like that. They had been looking for him for 2 months, and somebody saw some liquid dropping out into the snow. Okay? And they opened it up, and his body was in there, but the beads, because they were millionaires. She made clothes for all the NFL players, everything. They had money counting machines like crazy. He was Jamaican. They had that bread. You hear me? But he started going to, like, I don't know, the witch doctors. He got himself involved in Palamambe. Well, they came looking, and they found him. And he was unalived. Honey, you have snatched my past, present, and my future. I wouldn't be halfway prepared before you, Keish. Uh-oh, not I just broke my belt loop. I just got back into these jeans today. Look. Anyway, whatever. I'm going to stitch it back on. My grandma taught me how. Listen. Yes, we sure did. It was like off a movie. The gas station was packed. They were panicking because no one could use their cards, and the machines kept saying decline for everybody. Don't be laughing at Quinn. I just got back in these pants, girl. I didn't think I could. I done lost a lot of weight, almost 20 pounds. And I done broke the damn belt loop, and they ain't even tight. That's raggedy. God, but I had these jeans over 10 years, so I can't complain. Listen. Do y'all know what y'all doing for me right now? Y'all don't know that I just got off the phone with my mom, and I told y'all she has the ability at times to make me feel like a thing. Even though I know God be walking with me, and I know God done told me because I warned them. Right? I've warned them. Okay? Now it's I gotta get my soul right, and we gotta be acting like this. This everything I've been telling you this whole time, lady, but go off. You hear me? Do what you gonna do. But when I come back on here, after me saying for the last week, y'all need to make sure y'all stuff been charged, just like Miss Lady said. Okay? Please. You said your voice was playing in my head. Come on in here. Come on. Let's do it. Was. See? I told you. Come on, Rika. Look. Yeah. Yeah. And was. And was. And was. Because guess what? God wanted us to be prepared. My baby was on her way home to Tennessee from Ohio. You heard me? But she was ready. And her CERCA mama voice like, don't trip. Think God tell me what to do. This is the experiences of knowing God's voice that I was talking about. Even my niece had her few bulbs and her few supplies and bulbs. Come on. Come on, Niecy Poo. Come on. You said what? You said, I think your voice lives mortgage free in all our heads. Good, because I ain't got no money to pay rent like that. So, moving on. Listen, good. I'm so happy. Listen, she said mortgage free. Yep, because I only got about $1 on the rent. So, I'm just saying. Now y'all see why I be so tired, because I be talking to y'all in my sleep and while I'm awake. Love you, family. Thankful everyone is safe. I'll catch up when I get off work. Have a safe day at work, Sarah. A safe day. Look at God. He know how to make me happy. And it ain't what people be thinking. You said we here, get your stuff right up now. But listen, that's how I know. Okay. That's how I know the people that don't mess with me no more. You said mortgage free. Shoot, we live with CERCA now. This part. This part. You hear me? We just got a big old house. And it be people out here doing classes and selling books with the prep we've been getting prep for years now. I be feeling so blessed, baby. They was telling people if they ain't have cash, they couldn't do nothing. And that's what you been saying. Oh, baby, I'm back. Come here. With my crusty lips, ain't nothing on them. Girl, didn't I just tell people a couple of weeks ago to get their damn money out the bank? Listen. You said Jesus paid the price. That part. Because I ain't got it. I hear now. Queen, do you really need to buy that? I politely put it back and grab a survival item. Not my... He said, you don't need that. Put it back. Put it back. Ooh. Did you hear what my baby said? They said, if you don't have no cash, look at that. They were telling people if they ain't have cash, they couldn't do nothing. That's what you've been saying. Have some cash because we won't be able to access these cards. Yet the ATM and banks closed, no power. Let me just screen record this class. That's what I'm going to have to do. Because, baby, listen. Who be getting that tickle in your stomach now? I said in a minute you go. You said no power, no money machines. And Kat, where you at? Just gonna go ahead and say this conversation. Listen. I might as well because listen here. Y'all, just listen. Mm. I tried to tell y'all. You can depend on my dad. Trust in him. You hear me? Do what he tells you to do, and everything gonna work out. Hello. 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 Do you hear me? Hello. I said, listen, I do not care what these people is saying. When God tell me something, I trust what he says because he ain't never lied to me. Here we are, 3.5 years later. Listen. 3.5 years later, and every single thing that God told us that was going to be happening in a few years is literally happening right now. We talked about the rolling blackouts just 2 weeks ago. We talked about the flooding. We talked about not being able to get your money. Now, y'all don't think that some of them people that came in class was some of the people that was telling people, just leave your money in there, don't do that. I bet you they feel real crazy now because I guarantee you some of the people that was in that class or listened and was like, I'm not doing that. I guarantee you they're in the places because that's what God does. I was just reading 1 Thessalonians this morning, and it said, don't despise them prophecies. Don't throw them prophecies off. You hear me? You better pay attention. You hear me? Get away from the people that's always causing disruptions. Okay? Move over. You understand? I know y'all get that tickle in y'all stomach when listening to God puts you ahead. See, remember I told you, I said, everybody in the world right now is the rabbits. But if you remember, we did a class and I showed y'all in Asia how they really do the tortoise and the hare races, like we do horse races. And because the rabbit is distracted by the noise, he can be ahead, but because he can't stop paying attention to what's going on around him and focus on the goal, he always loses the race. And the tortoise, the turtle, just stay focused. He might be going slow, might not be hopping as fast, baby, but he's focused. That's what y'all did when y'all came over here. Y'all got focused. What the world was saying couldn't distract you no more. It wasn't drowning out God's voice no more. That still small voice that tell you, put it back. Put it back. You don't have a lot of times where you go buy something and then something happens and you be like, dang, I shouldn't even bought this. You don't have a lot of those times no more. You know why? Because God will make you wise in your daily affairs. You ain't arguing with people as much as you used to because he'll tell you what to say and what not to say, or who to answer the phone for and who not to answer the phone for. Listen. And now you see why. Look, y'all done made my day because that mama show got on there and said, people telling people to get prepared and this and that. They need to make sure they sold right. Baby, we working on all of that, but we ain't got to be out here bad because y'all want to live in a crazy world, honey. I said, Mama, you know August will be 42 months that man been here. I said, and they building a pretty fab temple. I don't know if you know. I heard y'all talking about the water tester and told my husband about them and he ordered them. Come on, Mr. Gator. Come on, Uncle Gator. Brother Gator. Come on. Folks is opening up their ears and opening up their eyes. I'm telling you. God is splitting the wheat and the tares, y'all, right now. He's finally getting on board. Listen, that's what they do. They always wait till you done did it. But as long as they get here. Yep, family gossiping about me, talking about I told them to get right with God. You said, yep, family gossiping about me and talking bad. Uh-oh. I told them, get right with God. That should be your focus. Come on, pumpkin. And look where we at, though. Look where we at. Come on, Miss Denise. Come on. Come on. Look, 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 look. You hear me? Hold on. Didn't God tell us to go get what are they called? The water things. What is it? The water distillers. Right. He told us to go get the water distillers, what, a week or two ago? Right? Y'all know what happened? Not the filtration systems, the last week or the week before, the water distillers. That's what it was. The water distillers to purify the water. Remember? The funny fact is turtles aren't slow. People just don't pay enough attention to them. They pay attention to their surroundings before they move and act. Come on. And once you look away, they take off and you chasing them down the road. Us, Mari. Us. Because we started off, you know, folks was whatever. But guess where we at now? Ahead of the game. Ahead of the game. Clock your nephew. We ahead. You hear me? We ahead of the game. You told us that 2 weeks ago. Okay, what happens when the water from the rivers and stuff gets into our water supply? What's the first thing they tell us to do? They put you on a what type of order? A boil water. God told us to get something to purify our water 2 weeks ago, and now water is flooding into all sorts of places where it normally contamination and okay. Yep, I have 4 turtles. They're actually fast, strategic, and clever. Okay. Well, here we go. They get it moving and they stay focused. What you been doing? Hillsborough, North Carolina is on a boil water advisory right now because the Eno River flooded into. Let me. This is why people be thinking I'm crazy. I don't care. Oh, Jesus. We can't even get through the first 30 minutes of class without God confirming everything he's been. Good morning, Mr. Randolph. Can I ask you a question? Do you care about people calling you crazy now? You said, yep, that's up the road from you. Do you care? Do you care that people said you was a conspiracy theorist? And out west, they're planning on using wastewater for drinking water. Baby, they already do. Remember, we talked about this. I went to school with a girl that worked at the water filtration plant. Remember when I told y'all that white stuff floating on the top of your water when you get it out as pads and tampons and diapers? Remember, I told y'all when I was in school at Phoenix College, I went to school with a girl that worked at the wastewater plant. That's how all the pills and stuff get in our water because they're flushed down the toilet and they clean it, but they don't get all that stuff off. Louisiana is in our boil water because of the river. Oh, shoot. So 2 of them. So my baby got trapped. Well, the devil tried to trap her. Ironic, just passed a non-portable water truck, spilling water on the road while moving. Interesting. So y'all remember when we talked about these things won't be only happening in one place? And you need to pay attention to what's going on around you. Because just because it's not happening in your neighborhood, it could be happening in another neighborhood across town. Hello? God told us about the floods in places where it doesn't normally flood. You hear me? That's why the fish and wildlife have mutations. I saw a documentary about it. Good afternoon. Many people are thinking about leaving the country. What are your thoughts on that? The Bible says where you run into, it's going to be happening all over the world. They only allow to withdraw increments. Start pulling out 5K at a time if allowed. Do more. Find out what how you can pay your bills in cash. Don't tell us all this. You can't even swim here in the ocean either. What? Not one of our classes was for nothing. Not one of our classes was for no reason. Every single thing that God has had us study, look into, read, buy, it has all been for a reason. It's mind blowing. People laughed at me and they told me that them bones that I put up with them big heads wasn't real. You want to know something? Why is my camera taking pictures by itself and I'm not touching it? Y'all see both of my hands. Y'all just heard that click. Y'all see I put my phone down. I'm literally touching my head. Listen. I'm not close to my desk. I can't. Do you hear me? This is close to my desk where I can pick my phone up. This is not close. And my hands is like this and this. Well, here we go with the BS. So, I told you I spent a lot of stuff happening around here. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I keep trying to tell y'all. Listen. Understand this. We were in the right lane. And I know it always takes pics when you won't listen. Or start playing. Or whatever else it is. This. Okay? But how about this? You thought you was in the wrong lane, maybe. Sometimes it felt like what you was doing didn't have no meaning. You cannot tell me right now that it doesn't feel like you. Every single thing you bought, every single thing you learned, every single word that we looked up, every single place. Did y'all see the guy Conscious Juice posted that video, and they found 2 more 20-foot giants standing? Now we didn't seen them in Mexico, we didn't seen them in Montana. We didn't seen them everywhere. Y'all see this? I said, well, God said they was coming back at the end times. I guess it was real. And guess what? That post where I put BBB equals 666, yeah, baby, they not letting it get no traction. None. You hear me? Absolutely none. When I say none, none. Oh, that's the wrong one. Yes, and people kept carrying on about their day. I was shocked. You saw it? Good, because I'm about to try to find it so we can look at it. And I just reposted it. Why? Maybe it's in my story. There it is. Nope. Here it
is. And these Saudi Arabians, they like to ride box Chevys in Saudi Arabia. But I'm watching this video and nobody seemed to notice, way in the background, on top of that mountain, these two giants from way back there. Look how tall they are, bro. They gotta be over 20 feet tall to be that big, to appear that big from way down there. Look how big they are. They are huge, bro. And nobody seemed to notice. Like they on top of a mountain, and look how huge they are. They did speak of giants in Saudi Arabia and in that area, but I think we caught some giants, y'all. These gotta be.
Conscious Juice is the guy that posted it. This guy's name is Derek Rodriguez. Derek Rodriguez 813. No, my tablet wasn't taking. It's actually in the video. Whoever posted that video first was taking pictures. Now, y'all see how big them people was? You said they're swiping the heck out of our comments right now. Oh, really? They're not letting y'all post anything. Interesting. They are for taller than the Giants. They are for sure taller than the Giants. Yeah. But did we talk about it? More Giants are coming out. They are. Okay. Did we talk about that these beings had to come back at the end times to help fight that war that's about to happen? And they didn't been showing up ever since that giant video, have they not? In the mountains of Montana, Mexico, the place where the people was walking and he closed the gate. Them giants. Oh! Please tell me y'all saw this. Please, I need you to pay. Let me. Please tell me y'all saw this.
What in there? I'm recording it. What the hell is that? Have y'all heard this? So we have What in there? I'm recording it. What the hell is that?
We're gonna watch it one more time.
What in there? I'm recording it. What the hell is that?
No, because you can hear people cussing in the background. Okay. Kind of look like this one. Kind of look like that one. That's why I told y'all that one that we saw what's the name was real. And in Japan, I said, nigga, these things about to come out. Mm-mm. And look where they said they hiding. In the rocks. Finding and tracking dragons. You said How to Train a Dragon is back out again. Interesting. What y'all think, family? Still think you shouldn't have been looking into dragons and all of these type things? You think that was a waste of time, you think? Now we know why folks' hearts about to be giving out with fear. Uh-oh. Not that I didn't rub my deodorant in. Y'all cousins, I don't gotta worry about it. Hello? So you still think our Dragonology research was for nothing and our mystic beings research was for nothing and they flying through our skies in the night? Hello? That was in America. In Japan 3 years ago, nobody believed it. And now in America, he said, what is that? That wasn't no owl. Wasn't no bird. There's been other ones that have been sighted and people kept saying, no, that's not true. I said back in like 2016, somebody was flying on a plane and they saw 7. That was in America. You didn't hear our country he was? He was in America. Baby, listen to this man's voice. He was in America. The niggas, whoever by he a country person. Listen. How you just go back? You can't just go back.
So I'm watching this video, right?
What? I'm recording it. What the hell is that?
So
What? I'm recording it.
You hear him say, what is that,
What the
nigga?
hell is that?
Game of Thrones, Return the Dragon. Hello. I told y'all they was getting y'all ready. If they making animal-human hybrids, they already told us about Jurassic Park. Now they just found 7,000 islands in Japan. Come on. I was reading today in Jeremiah chapter 13. Oh, okay. Hey. Okay. They look like how. Oh, okay. Now I need to watch How to Train a Dragon. Might have to tame. Raise your hand if you happy you went digging. Raise your hand if you were happy that we went back and found out that the word dinosaur didn't used to be nowhere around. It said dragon. And raise your hand if you happy that when you read dragon in the Bible, you knew that is exactly what it was talking about. It wasn't a metaphor. It was a real thing. And people was flying because they was riding on the backs of dragons and flying dinosaurs. Hello. Who remembers me telling y'all that the dinosaurs was around when Noah and them was around? This is how they took flight. It said they flew. We flew to Draconium, whatever, not Draconium, but whatever that Laconium type, whatever the Iconium. We flew there. I said, why would it say that? Why didn't it say they walked? It literally said we flew to Iconium, or we was taken up in the air. Go ahead and transform the Daenerys into Daenerys so WIU can have our dragons. Listen, you said bouncing all up in my seat with my hand up. Listen, remember people called us crazy. They was like, why are it? That's not what it was about. I said it was dinosaurs on the boat. It was dinosaurs. And then we talked about the unclean animals. And we talked about maybe those were some of the satyrs and things that we see right now because they are here before and after the flood. Make that make sense? It's going to be a real Hagrid. Listen. Okay, so remember when I talked to y'all about the big old eyeball in y'all window? I said, what you going to do one day if you're sitting down and you see a cloud-like thing and then you turn around and it's the eyeball is as big as your window or bigger? What you going to do? And it's as tall as it's just peeking in. Like this. Yeah, remember? This is exciting. It's scary, but it's exciting. Because think about how many people don't believe that these beings are back. Think about it. But God has been preparing. We've been looking at these beasts. We have been researching these beasts for 3 years. We have been looking at all the movies, reading all the books. Okay? Jurassic Park taught us well. You stand still, you won't get ate. This part. Y'all hear that? What's today? Interesting. Y'all hear that tornado sound? Let me go look outside real quick because it's real sunny. Listen. The horns is going off. Hold on. Interesting. It's Monday. At exactly 12, well, 11 down here. Interesting. Who got a tickle in their stomach? Anybody got just a little like feeling of joy that you are not blinded to what's going on? We was just talking about that in last class or on that before. In 2 different states, the alarms and sirens was going off. They were testing them. Interesting. Interesting. The Bible says we have dominion over them. We have to build up our confidence in the Spirit. You do realize that God said they're going to come back and destroy the earth and be taking out mankind? You realize that, right? We are not in the time of being saved right now. Y'all got to stop thinking that. Y'all got to understand time dispensation. There are certain things that apply to certain times. We are in the last 3.5 years of the world. Everything that we see as we know it. A lot of that stuff don't apply right now. It don't. I don't know, but I'm about to order some rafts. I heard the alarms last Friday and I spaced out. I don't know. I felt weird. I started going through my survival stuff. Day, do you realize it? It's been a year and 4 months since I got back from Georgia. And right after I got back from Georgia, that's when I start asking everybody, please go get a raft or some, what's the names? Because God keeps telling me it's going to flood in places where it don't normally. It's been a year and 4 months. What's happening? And actually, right after that, the floods started happening because that's when Texas had got flooded. Atlanta had got flooded. That's when the hurricanes and stuff came and Florida was flooded. All of that happened after I got back from Georgia. Deserts are flooding. Come on. The movie Burger King is advertising how to train a dragon. Yeah. Think about it. And all of the places where it's normally a desert, where it's normally just field, is. Soon as I got back, I was like, yeah, I don't know, but something tell me we need to get some emergency ladders so you can get down if you on the second floor for the fires. And then the fires started happening in California and all over the place. When was California on fire? Early in the year, right? Or late last year, early this year? The north and east side of my city flooded yesterday. It was dry at my house. Weather is crazy. Listen, Southern girl in the Midwest. Okay. Well, God told us to buy them emergency ladders just in case it's a fire and then stuff start burning up. You said I was wearing my gas mask. I remember. Okay. God has warned us about what they said was not going to happen, and he has told us every single thing to buy months and years ahead of time. If you don't feel special to God, you crazy. Because he was telling us what the government was going to do step by step. He told us nobody was going to come. He told us it wasn't going to be no alarms. All of this, we need to have all that stuff you told us about. We got it. They selling them in grocery stores. Interesting. Didn't I tell you they put it out? And they say, oh, well, we put it out, but nobody was paying attention. That don't got nothing to do with us. Yep, someone here told me about get rafts after my dream about my whole backyard being an ocean. Listen, it's a real thing. It's a real thing. We don't know what we about to have to endure. They sent it in our emails to be prepared in months. Listen. This is why God had us put all our stuff in plastic totes. So if it's floating down the river, we can save some of it. This is probably why he had us do Mylar bags for our food, because it's water resistant. So you can open it up and it's still dry on the inside. It was strategy to what was coming. Do you see? Do you hear? I'm not sad. I am grateful. And yes, all of this is terrifying. But the fear that other people have, we don't have to have it because we listened. And this is what I be trying to tell people. I don't got to be scared if I'm prepared. What are you talking about? Now, that's not saying it's not going to be a scary thing. But I don't have to be frantic like my baby said, when people was tripping out because they couldn't use their cards. But God had already let her know, baby, keep some cash on you. Keep some cash because they're going to turn the money off. And that's exactly what they did. Now, North Carolina, Ohio, and Florida, all in this last couple of days, ain't had no power, ain't had no way to get. I told y'all what happened when I went to the gas station. It freaked me out. I couldn't use my card, but they couldn't take cash or nothing. They was like, we can't sell nothing because our computers ain't working. But imagine being scared and ain't got nothing. Listen, Dave. Listen, that's why I don't care what nobody say. They can call me crazy. They can say I'm a false prophet, baby. The proof gonna be in the pudding. Hello? Because I don't walk around with one of these on and a collar and church clothes. You don't want to listen. You say, why did I just get my other bags from my extra? Okay, that's fine. I don't have to look like it to be it. Do you understand? You don't have to look like a church person to be holding the Spirit of God in you. You said the pudding been very good and flavored over here for me. Oh, okay. Just because I don't walk around with this on my head trying to act out holy don't mean God don't talk to me. He needs somebody that's going to be able to talk to a wide variety of people. He needs somebody that can get into the club and snatch souls out of there. Oh, okay. Now these church people is about to flip it and say, oh, I don't have to worry about being stacked up. I need to worry about my soul. You ain't been worried about it this whole time? What you been doing then? So you're not prepared and you ain't been working on your soul. So what you been doing? Super sanctified and saved? Acting? Going along with the like what you been doing? I just gotta hurry up and get myself and make sure I'm okay. What you been doing every day? I had a dream that either dragons or fairies were building their little girls. Interesting. You sent me an email of a picture of a fairy. Okay, hold on one second. The same way they couldn't imagine when I was trying to prepare them. I can't imagine them doing without prepping. Listen. If you know, you know. While this class be in our lives, I just had to tell a family that God can use anyone to send you a message. This. They were building their cities in like the grass area, and an angel came to me and said, tell Michael to get ready and get your arm for Ra. Interesting. I believe it. I believe it. Oh, where y'all find this at? On top of your car? What the heck? I believe it because back in 2009, they were showing that copper colored body one that they used to always find in Mexico. You know the one I'm talking about? If you look up fairies in Mexico, y'all seen the pictures? And it's copper and it looks like exactly what is in the movie that I asked y'all to watch, which was Pan's Labyrinth. So I watched Pan's Labyrinth in 2008 or 9. And then in like 2010 or 11 or something like that, I go and this man said he found a fairy and it looked exactly. Listen. Go look up Copper Fairy Mexico. I'll be right back. Go look them up. And if you watch Pan's Labyrinth, that thing that used to be transforming into grasshoppers and stuff to get that little girl to come with him to lead her to the Seder, yeah. Go look real quick. That's how I know. And the green woman that was in that tree and everybody kept saying it was AI. And he was like, what the heck is this, that black dude? I said, it looked exactly like the thing that was in Pan's Labyrinth. practicing. They making sure everything gonna work. Crazy. That's why the Bible tell you don't judge a book by its cover. You better don't judge no. Something like that was flying around. I thought it was a flower petal. Y'all go. Y'all see them? That part. That part, Miss Diana. I believe it. Thank you. Did y'all see it? Fairies, direwolves, tree people, shrunken heads, trolls. We living in grand for real. Okay. Do it make you excited? This should make you excited because you can see. You're not going to be deceived because you know it's real. Because you done went and studied about all of it. Not just scripture, but what is hidden. Like that man said, it was a guy, and I don't know where it is, so I'm not about to look for it. But there was a guy. Oh, Nathan Reynolds. Did you see how he said that they replaced satyr and siren in the Bible with shaggy goats and ostriches? You hear me? If you went and watched Nathan Reynolds' episode, you remember he said in the Bible, and I told y'all that, and we knew it just from this book. When I said it was unicorns on there, and lynxes, and all of these other beings, and folks said I was crazy, and that ain't what it meant. It meant rhinoceros. I said, no, it didn't. It meant unicorn because it said unicorn several times in the Bible. What is y'all talking? So the Bible lying or y'all? Because the Bible talks about mystical beings. It says that they were mystical beings. Job talks about the satyrs and the unicorns and all of these different beings. So is Job a liar too? Isaiah and them talk about all these mystical beings that was running around. Is they liars too? Huh? Yours says unicorn. Okay. Can you find me a scripture in the Bible where it talks about satyrs and unicorns and mer people? Please. It's probably going to be in the KJV. No. It's almost going to be impossible because the Bible says we didn't let angels into our house and didn't even know it. So how would you know that? How would you not know that a heavenly being is in your house? You wouldn't be able to know if they look just like us. He said some of you have let angels in your house unaware. Angels. So that means they can transform in the skin and look exactly like us. And the whole time it's a heavenly being. And it never said a good or bad one. It just said you didn't entertain some angels, honey. Unaware. Good and bad. Which means just like in the movie Job 39, 9 through 12, will it let you post it? Can you screenshot it or copy and paste it? Thank you. Y'all, this make my toes wiggle. Because it's scary as hell that we about to watch all this happen, but at least we are not deceived thinking everything is AI. We are not deceived thinking every single thing is AI. We know it's real. Now, is some of it AI? Yes. if it wasn't for the grace and mercy and the blood, would have been wiped off the map. Come on. At least we know what it really is. This part, day. This. You said I got chills on top of chills. Jay, because this is the thing. God wants us to be aware. Not that we ain't going to be scared, because if I see a dragon, I know what I'm going to do. But at least I know that they're real. Isaiah 13 and 21 and Isaiah 34 and 14, satyrs. Come on. So the Bible talk about satyrs, but the pastors tell us they not real, but now they making human animal hybrids. Who's the liar? The Bible tells us it was dragons. Who's the liar? They told us dragons lived a gabillion that ain't even a gabillion years ago. A gabillion. Okay? Numbers 23:22, Job 39, 9 through 12. Okay. That ain't even the truth. Because Earth ain't even 7,000 years old, or right at 7,000 years old. But the wild beasts of the desert shall lie there, and their houses shall be full of doleful creatures and owls. And owls shall dwell there, and satyrs shall dance there. Do you think it was a harpy owl? A harpy owl, maybe? Genesis 1:21, this passage refers to the creating of real sea creatures, not mystical beings. Oh, okay. Numbers 23, Numbers 24, Deuteronomy 33, Job, Psalms again, Isaiah. Plenty of unicorn scriptures. Interesting. They showed us that satyrs look like, what? They do. Bohemian Grove and a few other places. Oh, okay. So when I ask y'all, when it says the Codex of Extinct Animals, a study of the lesser known species of the animal kingdom, a study of the lesser known species of the animal kingdom, and people said this book was crazy. Is it? Y'all don't think these the first beings they about to try to bring back? Well, we know they already here. I told y'all that's why they got y'all used to them hoof feet. And they made that the fashion. Because it was really, they got folks wearing goat legs right now. There's been a lot of runway shows where everybody was satyrs. Hello. Some of the most expensive shoes are hooves of horses and goats and cows. Oh. 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 Oh, shoot. Wait a minute. Is that a flying horse? However, modern translations often replace unicorn with wild ox, or a similar term suggesting that the Hebrew word referring to a strong, powerful, and perhaps mythical animal. Interesting. How you gonna know this if you ain't never seen it? Tell me. How do you know how the bone structure connects together? How do you know this unless you've seen it? Yeah. What? You mean what we just saw? In the sky? In that man video? We just seen this. You said what? You said, huh? Oh. Interesting. Like a harpy owl, like this kind. They go that ER in the front, like from Ur. And we know harpies lived in Ur. Harpies lived in Ur, didn't they? Mm-hmm. That's why I ain't been able to see y'all comments this whole time. They wasn't on. The Loch Ness Monster people have been looking for years. Oh, the sea creatures, they coming out. The earth is being rattled. Their homes are being shaken. The Bible talks about the things that was going to come out of the earth. Don't forget that the giants are the mountain builders. Is that why we always see them on top of the mountains? Because their homes, just like they showed y'all in that show David, are made in the rock. Fortresses. This is why people, when they go hiking mountains, they come up missing. They was there and then they wasn't. Hadfish being associated with the Michelin. Yeah, okay. Family, we is like really here. We is like really, really here. With the cash, with the blackouts, with the pay with your hand. I told my mama today, I said, you know they about to start making people the only way you're going to be able to get your... Remember I told y'all my mama always at the doctor. She's always at the doctor. Always at the freaking doctor. I said, well, you know they got that thing called Amazon One Medical. Okay. I said, did you know that you have to scan your palm print in a minute for you to get, for them to identify you for medical services? She got real quiet. But it don't matter. I'm just trying to make sure my soul right. I said, yeah, but y'all here still. I said, you can pay in Dubai with your face. You can pay in the store right now with your palm. Hello? Listen, I seen an article about a man arrested for his pig giving birth to a human-looking piglet. It's just like the men taking their sperm and giving it food or whatever they do with it. They put their sperm on a chicken egg. It produces a living thing. You know that, right? We studied that. And they leave it in water and it can respond and everything. It's a name for it. It kind of look like a sea creature type thing. But there are men that take their human sperm. Yeah, go look it up. Did anyone see the fish market video selling looking like mermaid tail for $23 a pound? I believe it. I didn't see it, but I believe it. We did the research here in class. In the last year, we did this. Go look up. It's a weird name. I can't think of what it's called right now. You remember? Family, did you see the post of the lady who was half goat and half woman? She lives in the Amazon rainforest in Brazil. No, I didn't. I did not see that. I mean, I saw the ladies in Africa with them goat legs and they kept saying it wasn't real. Y'all remember when we kept seeing that? And people was like, oh, it's fake. I said, ain't nothing about it fake. It was satyrs back in the day and it's satyrs right now. Hello. And now satyrs is showing up in Brazil. Remember I told y'all what was in Brazil. I told y'all what was in Brazil. There was a man, look. It's crazy we talking about this. Because I reposted a video. There was a guy talking from like Afghanistan or something, right? Y'all might have already seen it. But remember when I told y'all, I asked y'all to go watch that video about the African dude that said that the dinosaurs was still there in Africa. It was like the early 90s or something like that. And he said that they have to put them goats out there or them things will come up out the water and come to their villages. Y'all remember in the Congo? Remember? They had the African name for it. And I showed y'all my brown book about the African dinosaurs that's in the Congo. Remember? Also, when we saw that video in 22, And they said, ain't no way that the body of that T-Rex is 20 million years old. I said, I know, because they still alive over there in Brazil. Right? And we talked about how they used to have to go and tie up goats so that this thing didn't come up out the water and come into their village. Okay. That was Africa. Listen to this. I said, oh, we had a class about that 3 years ago when I was showing people that brown book right there, Quest for the African Dinosaur. And I said, they in the Congo looking for them dinosaurs. I said, that's why they burned the Congo down, remember? We talked about this. Right after we talked about that, that dragon in Japan came out. Oh, let's see what Ricky Smiley got to say. This Ricky Smiley.
I'm not trying to scare nobody, but we are in danger. If you haven't been watching the news and checking out everything that's going on, we're in a lot of danger right now.
Y'all know we sent him books, right? Did y'all know we sent him OTPs? When his son died? I don't know if I ever told y'all. We sent him OTPs. Did y'all know that? When his son died, I sent him some OTPs. Did I tell y'all? I might not have even told y'all nothing. It's a few stars that got OTPs from us. Did. It's a few stars. I didn't tell y'all, but yeah, we sent him some OTPs. Did. Right when his son passed. We did. But moving on.
Because the Constitution, the United States Constitution, as we knew it, they about to cut all through that. And we are accustomed to having rights. All your rights, all of our rights is at risk right now.
Was I telling y'all that we ain't gonna have no rights? They ain't gonna have to tell you nothing. They gonna take your family members and tell you to get the hell on. They ain't gonna have to tell you if they got them or nothing. Did we talk about it? We talked about ain't gonna be no rights. You're gonna need to learn how to keep your head down and keep it moving and not draw a lot of attention to yourself. Okay.
That whole Make America Great Again, as far as this administration and the way he is going and the way things are going, and when they say great again, that means your ass don't have no rights. If you go and watch Joy Reid videos, if you get an opportunity to watch Joy Reid videos, go watch them. You'll learn a lot, especially our video on slavery.
Now, is it scary that God told us over 36 months ago, 41 months ago now, that all of this was coming and now everybody sees it? You had 28, 29, 30 months to prepare for what people are just now taking serious in May, June, July of 2025. Okay? God, you don't have to feel rushed. You don't have to feel frantic or scattered. You can make calm decisions because you made the hard decisions 3 years ago, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 6 months ago. You don't have to feel scared. It is a scary thing. But now people are realizing we're in danger. Just now, when the news is talking about it, when it's already too late because it's already in effect. Hello. Hard to prep for something when it's happening. Think about all of the survival plans that God told us to get, teaching our kids to be quiet, teaching them not to be all over the place, to quitting putting every single place that we go on the internet. Well, y'all heard what's happening July 5th? Every single thing after July 5th, every single thing that go through your phone is going to be put in a file, a digital file, who you talked to, what you text them, what link you sent them, where you was at, what you ate, what you got from the doctor's office, all of that. The new TikTok app is going to be called M for Meta. Hello. We already know Meta bought TikTok. And now the new TikTok thing after 26, whenever 26 next year, oh, it's going to be called M. Interesting. Hello. I was talking to my daughters the other day after the 4th. I told them, pay attention to the symbols Dad throws forgive. He's trying to warn you. So you need to be ready, right? Okay. It's scary. That's why I don't want to wait till the world tell me. I want to know before that. I don't care. I don't want to wait for that. I want to know before. Thank you. I do not want to wait.
Human foot, and he just looked, and he was just dumbfounded, like, you know, is this a prank? Did someone, you know, is someone messing with me? I mean, what is this? And it wasn't just one. It was like, and they were like wide apart, you know, like it was like he saw another one like 10 feet away. He's like, what the hell is this, you know? So he asked his mother about it, and she's like, remember when I told you to stay out of those caves? And he was like, oh. And
he's talking about his dad and his grandmother, and he's from Afghanistan or somewhere in that area. Okay, let me give you some context. This man, because I'm gonna run to the restroom. This man is talking about his grandma and his daddy. Okay, y'all hear me? His grandma and his daddy having conversations. Okay, here we go.
A human foot, and he just looked, and he was just dumbfounded, like, you know, is this a prank? Did someone, you know, is someone messing with me? I mean, what is this? And it wasn't just one. It was like, I mean, they were like wide apart, you know, like it was like he saw another one like 10 feet away. He's like, what the hell is this, you know? So he asked his mother about it, and she's like, remember when I told you to stay out of those caves? And he was like, oh. And, you know, he didn't go in those caves, I'll tell you what. So he told me that in 2005, and then 5 to 7 years later, it just so happens that when I was young, my mother, I used to go with her, and she used to tie one of our goats or sheep or whatever they had available to a post right outside of this one specific like cave or cabin entrance, like by their village. And he didn't really know what it was. He was like, well, I never told you this because you never asked. But yeah, I you know, that footprint that I saw, and she told me to stay out of the cave and all that. Yeah, there was something living in there. She's like, I don't know what. She knew what, but you know, she said it was something that has been around a very, very long time. And if we don't want it to come and get us, we just have to give it these offerings. And there were people apparently that there was like cults that formed behind the worship of these things or this thing, you know. And apparently it was this, I would assume this giant, you know. And my dad said, yeah, like that. Then I told him the story that I had heard on YouTube, and you know, my dad is a hooligan. He's a little bit of a dark guy, and he just started laughing. And he's like, thank God my mom told me to stay out of those caves. His mother would go up there, tie an animal to, you know, a rock, or, you know, he's a hooligan. He's a little bit of a dark guy, and he just started laughing. And he's like, thank God my mom told me to stay out of those caves. His mother would go up there, tie an animal to, you know, a rock, or, you know, the nearest tree or whatever near where this thing was. And, you know, they'd hear this, you know, they'd be going down the mountain, and all of a sudden they'd hear like this screaming and stuff of the animal behind them, and they knew that the thing was accepted, you know. And she said that, yeah, as long as you keep on basically like using, I guess, sigil magic, because she had a sigil tattooed on her forehead in Arabic. And it was like some type of like spell, I guess, to protect her. I don't know if it was from those things or other things or whatnot. But
she believed that these things were not fully physical and that they were like these, I don't want to say like demons, but they were just these other forms of, you know, creations that lived on a different spectrum of reality or a different dimension, something like that. Yeah. Gollum's spirit to come and terrorize people so much that they all had to sleep together at night. Scary stuff. My grandmother was, you know, a black magic witch, so I don't think he wanted.
Ain't that the same story we heard about Africa? That they had the tie goat, and the people in Brazil said they have to tie something up on a mountain, or whatever it is that lives in there will come into their villages. So how is it that Afghanistan, Brazil, and Africa all said the same thing at different times? Make it make sense. Everybody lying, and they all got to do the same thing. Listen. You said like in the movie Godzilla. I missed something here. They should have said, oh, there it is, the Donovan Dread stories. Thank you, Pumpkin. The Donovan Dread stories. Is that on YouTube? Never mind, I'll find it. Yeah. So think about that. Think about all the stuff that the Bible said is hidden in the earth. And we just been walking around oblivious to it. What? I believe the government knows that there is no Bigfoot. They know who it is. Too many people have said they've seen it driving up in the mountains. Why is it always up in the mountains or some heavily wooded area? So Brazil has giants, Africa and Afghanistan. Also, there used to be the red-headed giants in Arizona, right? Oh, yeah. I told you I lived there. And I couldn't understand why, yeah. I believe that 100%. Baby, I believe so much spiritual stuff that going on in Arizona, baby. I told y'all that's the 2 times that the devil showed up in my house. It was in Arizona. In real life. He showed himself to my daughter, and he showed himself to me in Arizona. One in 2001 and one in 2011. You hear me? 10 years apart. That's why certain parks are restricted property, because that's what's in there. Yes. Yes. That me and my son talked about it for what is it in Arizona? I was gonna say the canal. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Why can't I think of what it's called? I can see it. Grand Canyon. They in the Grand Canyon too. They all up in the mountain. Listen. Grand Canyon. Area 51 is in between Arizona and Vegas. Yeah. Yeah, I'm trying to listen. Most of the most spiritual experiences I ever had, my deliverance ministry was in Arizona. When my daughter used to get down the stairs as a 1-year-old and she couldn't even do it in the daytime and be trying to unlock the door, Arizona. When she used to wake up under the bed, Arizona. Where my kids said they both had that crazy dream and ran out, 2 and 4 years old, ran out of their room and ran in my room saying, Mommy, we having a nightmare together? Arizona. Where the demon came and sat on my bed, Arizona. Where I was crawling, telling people that 9/11 was coming, saying the war angel is coming, Arizona. All of that happened in Arizona, baby. An Indian tribe fought them and killed them. Yep. Yep. I know. Yep. See? Oh, the stories is all through Arizona. Yeah. I told y'all, listen. I told y'all about a weekend where me and my homegirl and a guy that she was dating and his homeboy, we went up to Pine Top. And Boys and Girls Club had like a big cabin up there. We got off season, you could rent it for like $100 a day or something like that. Something cheap. When we got up there, me and my homegirl would not get out the car. The lady that owned that place, she had big Rottweilers. Or not owned it, but she was like the keeper of the grounds or whatever. Her house was in front of the cabin, and you had to open the gate and go back around and up onto the mountain. Baby, some of the creepiest crap happened. Noises to the point where we all end up sleeping in the same room. So what he just said, I know it to be true. I told y'all what happened when I went to Tennessee. My son said he heard something that did not sound like a bear. I was at the base of the mountain. The same time he's saying he hearing something, I told y'all that first night I could not sleep. I kept waking up, and I had left the bay. The whole wall was a window. I left it open, and I was just sleeping in there because I was at the base of the mountain. I was at the back of the mountain. When I got up, I thought he was trying to scare me. Then we go down to Alicia's cabin, and her mama, who had the cabin right next to mine, said she was up. She said the exact same time that my son said he heard it, she heard it. She thought it was her husband snoring, and she looked over, and he was not snoring. They both heard the same thing and said it did not sound like no bear. You hear me? This was in 2023. April 14th through the 17th is when we was there. I'd never been in Tennessee prior to this. But that night, when I tell you I was restless, every night after that, I slept with that curtain down. I'm talking about I was flip-flopping in that bed, baby. I could not, and I kept looking like something was looking at me, but I couldn't see it. Told my son, I said, that's crazy, because last night, like, I could not sleep. I kept feeling like somebody was watching me. And then you tell me that at a certain time, 3-something in the morning, you hear a noise, but it don't sound like no bear. And the lady next door say the same thing? Oh, okay. I wasn't crazy. My body was asleep, but my spirit wasn't. My spirit was not asleep. When you drive on the freeway, a lot of stuff you see in Arizona, yeah, like the dinosaurs that's out there right when you get in, right before you get to Tucson in the desert. And they got the dinosaur bones in the caves, and they show you the houses in the caves and stuff. I done made that route so many times, it's ridiculous. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So the Havasu tribe Indians still live in the Grand Canyon. Yeah. Yep. This is why they find a lot of bodies. Yes, they have snakes with triangle heads on the freeway walls. Yes, they do. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That's why I don't like driving through Flagstaff and stuff at night, even though it's better on your car. If you've ever driven through Flagstaff and you look over, something got to be living down in there. The Paiutes describe the giants as vicious and cannibalistic people. No. Yeah. Listen, T. I already know. You got to think. That's Gargantua and Pantagruel, the Voyage of Magellan, and the Indian myths and tribes talks about it. And where I'm from originally, we have a lot of Indians there. A ton. You got to think. We went into, like I told y'all, my friend we built teepees and everything. Oh, I know a lot about the Indian culture. In my schools, we had to go to the places, and we built a teepee at school. We had to do all of the drawings on the outside, and I'm talking about big enough for everybody in our class to fit in there. So believe me, I've been studying Indian culture for a long time. Yeah. That, like I said, where I'm from, it is a very spiritual place. Very, 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 very spiritual place. Very. When I was there, drove through an area where it was snowing. About 15 minutes out, no snow. It was crazy. That's Flagstaff. Once you go down the mountain and get out of there, then it's hot. You got to take that jacket off, babe. Once you hit a certain place in New Mexico, the weather you can feel the windows. It start changing. And then once you cross over that Arizona border right there, baby, that's a drive I can do in my sleep. I believe the Paiutes, because the necklace made of the giant's red hair. Oh, yeah, I know. Listen, this is the thing. We believe what we've been told to believe, what we've been taught to believe. People don't go outside of what they taught. What is the sign with the numbers from 1 to 3 on it in the purple, other way? What you talking about? What you talking about? In Arizona? We only believe what we've been taught to believe. Okay. How many of y'all, when they came over here, you believed it, but some of it was still hard to believe? Now you believe it without question because you've done your own research. But how many of you all, when you first came over here, it was hard to kind of digest some of the stuff that we was talking about? Even though you might believe it, or the elevation change was real. Okay. Them ears started popping, Riga. That toxic whitewash history erasing American, the best culture. And only the victories. Listen. I was close to there in a place called Tucson or something like that. I was in a tribe in a national park. Tucson is on the opposite side. So Flagstaff is here and Tucson is on the other side. Phoenix in the middle. Victor and Never the Villain history. Come on. Y'all see? Y'all see how now, excuse me, a lot of people are talking about the indigenous people to America and who was the first people to do this and that. That was not, I mean, I'm not saying people didn't talk about it prior to now, because they did. But in the last 3 years, you see way more saints and stuff or people used from the Bible depicted as black than you probably ever have in your life. No. Now the world has caught on. So there's a lot of people, more people reading the Bible now because they know that the folks was black. They wouldn't hear it before, remember? I was in the high mountains and seeing a real teepee. It was so beautiful, but there was a lot of spirits. Yeah. I was raised on the res, and I know for a fact that Native American Indians everywhere have more respect for the land, animals, and nature. Yeah. Yeah. It was truly confirmation for me when I came over here. This part. I was a believer before, but this class has been confirmation and validation for me. Okay. You're absolutely right. I'm an over-the-road driver, and I drive out there on the West Coast for over 25 years. Listen, Mr. Mendel, I'm trying to tell you. I was an over-the-road driver, too. I was hauling cargo, but it wasn't that kind. Moving on. No, I'm just playing. Definitely put the wheels to the ground. I got my wheels on the ground. No license, no insurance, wrong tags. I was putting the pedal to the metal and going on a wing and a prayer, sir. Sure was. Hopefully, Mr. Officer don't stop me. So it's nothing but the grace of God. I didn't go to jail. Nothing but the grace of God. I'm talking about the license been suspended 6 years, still rolling. 3,000-4,000 mile journeys with these kids, nobody else moving. You hear me? Huh. Was. And the car. I ain't got an oil change or nothing because I didn't have the money. I'm about to anoint this car and we gonna make it there. You said delivered. I'm trying to tell you, RJ. Delivered, honey. Thank you, God. Now I'll be too scared to do it. But back then, you know, when you're young, you got courage. Now I'll be like, I ain't gonna, I can't do it now. But back in the day, come on, kids. When you comment in signs that you come up as a crown before until now today, other people. The Esmeralda of our time, I'm trying to tell you. I was an outlaw for real. Was. Well, you said CERCA, girl. Traveling from coast to coast, baby. Was. You hear me? And the precious cargo was them kids. God, let me make it. Baby, I told y'all one time, he said, I've been having my lights on following you for 30 miles. I said, I didn't think it was for me, officer. He said the only reason I'm not gonna take you to jail is because you got all these kids and you are in a state where you don't know nobody, and we would have to find a place. Get your license taken care of, yes sir. And still didn't get a license for another. That was 2008. I think my license got reinstated in about 2014, 2015. Hmm. Hey, you gotta get it how you live, huh? You gotta get it how you live. Horrible. I keep telling you, I lived a lot. But you said I've been doing that. So listen, you got to get it how you live. CERCA done lived a lot of lives. Y'all be wanting me to get up here. A lot of y'all, I'm not about to do it, baby. I be thinking back on it like, God, I know you was protecting me. Riding on a donut, the assignment way more than that license. I'm trying to tell you, I believe that I learned much more on it. Listen, you got to do what you got to do. Crazy. You said, who me? Listen. What I'm gonna do is a part of my story. You want me to not tell you my story? You said that was riding dirty for real, baby, for a minute. For a decade, for sure, almost. You hear me? Listen. Listen. But you know what, too? What's really crazy? God was hiding me, too. I realized that. This one told me, ma'am, you crazy. Laugh aloud. He said, I'm not going to give you a ticket because that won't help you financially. This part. Well, he gave me the tickets, but he didn't take me to jail, Rico. I was cool with the tickets, babe. But take care of your life. That's right. Mr. Sir, listen, I got all these kids. My granddaddy just died. I'm just trying to get home. I got to go to work in the morning. I'm a single mother. If faith was a person, baby, right across my forehead. The book of CERCA is truly one for the books. Listen. But I driving and praying the whole time. Quita was did. You said the faith of a mustard seed. I think mine the size of an orange right now. We got 2,600 miles. Let's go. Let's go. Just enough money to get there sometimes. And I said, I know you're going to make it away when I get there. And then he would get to my people's house. They're like, oh, I need my hair braided. Oh, I need this. Can you give her an iron out bit? Had the money to get home. Listen, my whole life has been faith. Every part of it. Every single... I'm living on faith right now. Hello. Still living on faith. And I'm grateful for it, baby, because he's seen how many tickets I had and was like, yeah, that's not going to help you grow. Hello, Rika. Hello. Nigga, tickets was coming out of everywhere. I had tickets all over this, from one end of the country to the other. See, you remember back in the day, they couldn't pull up your license like all over. It was just for that state. This is how people had 3-4 different licenses, right? Because if you had an address there, you had to have a license for that state. Like if you kept cars there. So if you had a house in Arizona, if you had a house in Mississippi, you lightweight needed a license for both of those states to be able to drive a motor vehicle, right? Y'all remember this? Oh, Mendel, let me tell you something. God, he keeps a watch over me. I've been on my own since I was 11. That's 34 years. I was driving when I wasn't even old enough to have cross country. Cross country. I was driving. Oh, I was 11, 12, 13, rolling. Woo! As my homeboys say, hop in the bucket and haul. You hear me? With it in the tires. You said what now? You said, huh? In cereal boxes. You said what? If I wasn't scared to go for the devil, why I'm going to be scared to go for my... Listen, I'm about to roll out. Hello? I wasn't scared when I was out there doing wrong. Baby, was not scared. So then I need this boldness for the Lord. Because I definitely went on some. I just had met my friend, and she kept saying, if you make it to my house, I got gas. Money didn't know me from a man on the moon, this part. I told y'all what happened to me when I was 17. A lady, and my son literally just sent me a picture of what I looked like then, right? So remember I even told y'all about the dress I had on. Why my son just sent me a picture? Crazy. When this lady came and she said, this right here. Now, my son's head was big. That's why I used to call him fatty head. Don't do too much. Do not do too much. That's why his nickname was Fatty Head, because his head was real, real big. Real big. Now it ain't big because he got big shoulders, but back then, yeah, his head was real, real big. And I used to shave it bald. Poor baby. I didn't know no better. I hadn't went to beauty school yet. I didn't know how to fade, so. And no, he don't got some over his eyes, some water that dropped on his picture. But this is the dress that I had on. And that was my boy. Y'all see me? Right? See how big his head was? Y'all see this? This is the dress that I had on or the weekend. When I told y'all that lady, girl, listen. You said my head still big. This part, his head was real big. Now it ain't. Y'all seen him. It filled out. But back then, ooh, he had a big old head. I used to call him Fatty Head. He said, yes, Mom. I said, what are you doing, boy? Come here, Fatty Head. Because, baby, that head, he grew into it. Listen, because he used to be about to topple over. Like, damn, your head's so big. What happened, son? But look, listen. Listen. But y'all know now his shoulder's so wide, it don't matter because you can't see it. My second son, he was so bad. That neck couldn't keep it up. His head was so big, that neck couldn't keep it up. Baby, we had to fix. I'm trying to tell you. Baby, he used to topple over every time I knew he was going to fall. That head was big. And he was skinny. He was skinny. It's even down now. But, baby, I was worried. Hey, Auntie Lisa, I was very worried. Very. Anyway, that is the weekend that I told y'all that lady that came down from California came to our council in Arizona, right? That's the weekend that she pulled me out of the crowd and she kept saying, you right there. I had never met this lady. You right there. She was a prophetess. You right there. Now, mind you, I told you my church used to be picking on me, right? The pastor, the associate pastor, not my pastor, but the assistant pastor, she used to be picking on me, right? I'm talking about picking on me, just all kinds of stuff. She wanted, wouldn't tell me who told her I was pregnant and all of this kind of stuff, right? Just picking for no reason, right? Well, that weekend, we were having a council. We were having the, whatever the council, it was the summer council or convention, whatever you call it. Some people call it the convention, some people call it the council. So it was the summer, and it was like youth night and all that stuff or whatever. So that lady came, and she's the first one that ever preached Job that had me in tears. And I was so enamored by it. Like, it was just like, I was like, I want to teach like this lady. Because they didn't taught Job a gazillion times, but it ain't. She had like 2 bowls in the front with this water, and it was amazing, right? So after she got done preaching, she said, you, come here. Y'all did like them. Ooh, somebody in trouble. And she kept saying, you, right there. And baby, I turned again. I said, ooh, who's she about to get? In the council, everybody done got quiet because she stopped preaching. Got quiet. And so everybody waiting. Y'all know. You said, and your teaching theater career began swiftly. Listen. Do you hear me? So I'm looking. Baby, she came, out because it was a small church. She came. I was sitting on the 2nd or 3rd row. She moved somebody to the side and said, you right there. Come here. I said, no, this lady is not calling me out in front of all of these people. I ain't never met her before. Hold on. Because I kept looking around like, who's she talking to? And now everybody was, you know how they be at the council when the guest speaker come up, everybody praise the Lord and all in their face. I was avoiding the lady because I ain't, listen, nephew, I was avoiding her, not because I thought nothing was wrong, but I'm not a flunky in church or in the streets. You hear me? I won't be doing none of that. You hear me? She called me up and she said, God is going to use you. And she said, don't come in here acting like you all meek and mild. I never met this lady. She said, don't come in here acting like you all meek and mild. She said, God already told me you was bold when you was in the streets. And it wasn't nothing that you was scared of. My mama face dropped because she used to think it was funny to tell people, yeah, my daughter ain't scared of nothing. She don't even, okay, you didn't know that was something hard. This is what you call that. I'm not going to shrink down from nothing. Okay. When I tell you, I was like crying my eyes out because I had been asking God, why you let me go through all of this stuff? And snatched and bopped in her good mystery. Listen, she said, don't get up here trying to act all meek and my God told me you was bold in the streets and was. But see, the church folks didn't know. Not that I was hiding it because this ain't the place and the time, but baby, my mama done told you I ain't lived with her since I was 11. I grew up in the 90s. I got out in the streets in 91 when Ice Cube and them was wearing their Jerry curls and niggas was riding past folks' houses and lighting them up. Yeah, I was out in the streets at that time with no cell phone, with no social media, with no job. Okay? Nigga had to get it out the mud for real at 11 years old, 12 years old, getting it out the mud. No parents. My mama cut me off her insurance. I couldn't go to the doctor. Listen, when I say God has taken care of me, and for him to get me in a place all the way from my hometown to this place in Arizona and pull me out, and it used to happen. That's why I started hiding in church. I started sitting in the back. I used to always sit in the front. I don't do that no more. I try to sit behind the biggest, tallest person I can. You hear me? I'm going to go and hide myself. I ain't about to be doing no whole bunch of standing up because I came to hear. I cannot tell you how many times I've been in a state. I don't care how big the church was. I do not care how big the church was. It could be thousands of people. And the person talking would start describing what I got on. They can't even see me. And say, it's a person here, such and 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 such, and this happened to you today. I need you to come here. It could have been my first time at that church. So no matter where I went, no matter what state I went to, no matter what bishop I sat under, God kept pulling me out from the group and saying, I chose you. I chose you. It don't matter if they choose you. I chose you. I chose you. I chose you. And the church people were around me would try to make me feel like because I had 4 kids and they know I lived this life and that life, that wasn't God talking to me. But I can tell you right now what I do every day. I can tell you right now from the screenshots I took from what we said in the beginning of this class, that was God talking to me. That was God choosing me. And I'm grateful for it. He used every single thing that I went through as a young person, as an old person, as me right now, to be able to help his kingdom. And that is worth every day that I cried, every day that I felt lonely, every day that I felt misunderstood, every day that I felt like I couldn't go on. It makes all of it worth it. To know that my baby girl, when she was out on the road and couldn't use her car, she had cash. She could go on and get her gas. Everybody else was stranded. When Miss Lady said, you just said this week, charge my stuff up and now my city is flooded and we ain't got no power. Hello. We got our life rafts just in case it come through here. We got our survival stuff put up in plastic tubs just in case the water does reach us. So they might be floating, but they gonna be good. When the water does recede or gone down, we can go get our stuff. And because it's packaged appropriately, we didn't lose nothing. It's still usable. Do you hear me? If the power is out, we talked about people in the next, remember I said in the next 2 weeks, I just said this, in the next 2 weeks, you need to be trying to empty your freezer and process most of that food. That was in the last 2 weeks. Y'all remember this? I said it ain't gonna do you no good to have all that food in the freezer and the power go out. What's happening right now in 3 different states, 4 different states? Because they can't get in there until the flood waters go down, which means whatever food was in their freezer, whatever food was in their refrigerator, it's no good because there's no power. You hear me? You said during Helene we had to go over 100 miles to find gas without semis. This part. Listen. If the roads are flooded, you're going to need one of these, ain't you? If you do get out in time, but the normal way you would take is flooded, will you need one of these? That's funny. You can say that. You say that because I've been feeling the need to go do that, but not adding anything else to the freezer, really, unless it's something from the food bank. This. If the roads is flooded, won't you need one of these? Because you might not be able to get out the same way you normally do. Not just the highway, just the regular roads. Hello? Roads is washing out, are they not? They washed out in North Carolina. They washed out in Florida. They washed out in Tennessee. They done washed out in Texas. Hello? South Carolina or wherever that was, they washed out there too. I think Toya just told me about the bridge that's been, somebody just told me about the bridge that keep going out. It's then went out again. The same one that was breaking after the hurricane or whatever? Oh, okay. You said I spoke about the EcoFlow that keeps refrigerators and stoves working. The cheapest one I saw was $219, powered by the sun, or will charge in a car. Will be my next purchase. Yeah, we I don't know what EcoFlow is, but we got miniature refrigerators. If we got to take what we got, some of us do, or good coolers that keep your food cold, the big ones, for 72 hours. And some folks should have an ice machine just in case, so they can hook it to their solar power generator, so they can make ice to keep on their food. All of these things we talked about. I told y'all I keep me a big, well, not now, but when I had my kids, I kept one of them big, long, white coolers, the biggest one you can, because you can put a whole refrigerator and freezer in there if you pack it right. You hear me? And keep ice, and you really only got to put ice on the top, because everything else is going to keep everything. If you put it in there frozen, everything going to be good. This is what I used to travel across the country with when I had my kids. Take all my little stamps that I done saved up and fill up that thing. That way I can clean my refrigerator out. Boom. When I come back, I already got groceries to go get, but I'm good. This is how, and it would stay cold for frozen for 7 days, as long as I wasn't keeping it open and all of that. 7 days. That's going to be vital right now. To have 2 of those, to where even if it do, and you do get a chance to go out and get some ice, you can take you said the solar fridge you told us to get. And I should have listened. I lost power for 3 days due to straight line winds. Lost everything in my freezers and fridge. y'all. These are things that people don't want to think about, but you don't want to think about a problem when it's happening, because that's when everybody else is thinking about it. Auntie gave us a good idea. All of those, if people get like Meals on Wheels, or when they send food home with the kids, or like if you're getting food delivered that has those ice packs and you get to keep them, it's going to be vital. All them ice packs that they send and we throw them in the trash, they're reusable. That can keep your food too. So there's things that we've been chunking in the trash that come with the meal delivery boxes and all of that. You need to be keeping all of that. You just pulled up the road atlas, and a lot of people don't even know how to read the road atlas. Listen, when we was traveling when I was young, before there was GPS and all of that, my mama made us read the map when we drove across country. She would make us know, like she would draw like a red line of our route. But I'm talking about 9, 10 years old. You got to know what highway you on. You got to know what state you in. Like, she would ask us, like, what was the last mile marker we passed? Because if something happened to her, and mind you, wasn't no cell phone, so you was going to have to wait for a police or somebody to come by. But I'm 9 years old, and this is what my mom, she would pull out the atlas, and she would have to say, how many miles we got to this if we in this place? And you would have to turn on the light in the back of the car or use the flashlight and say, well, we are such and such, because we had to pay attention to the signs as we was driving. Like, she would let us sleep sometimes at night and sometimes she wouldn't. She would wake us up. You need to know where you at. And I did that with my kids. We had MapQuest, but I would still put out the, I print out the thing, but then I also printed out the written directions down. People have gotten so dependent on GPS that they don't know how to read the map. I'm trying to tell you, if the number is odd, it runs north and south, and if it's even, it runs east and west. Come on, baby. Come on. These are going to be vital tools right now, seeing as how they cutting out the internet and electricity. And people didn't think that none of this stuff was going to be important. It doesn't matter. God knows it is. What you buying that for? Because I don't want to be stranded. Why are you buying all this stuff? Because I don't want my kids to be hungry. Why are you buying all this stuff? Because I don't want my kids to be cold. It ain't going to be no hospitals. So it's not a coincidence that they're cutting all of this. Sun rises in the east and sets in the west, and it sits the highest in the middle of the day. True. Okay? All of these things are important, y'all. And it's things that prior to the internet, everybody knew. You hear me? You said, and 3 numbers and a highway sign go around the city. Okay. Like 365, 465, I-95. Yeah, currently learning how to read maps. Got my road atlas yesterday, finally. Listen. I'm proud of y'all. I really am. For those of you that took the time and listened, and you just asked God to help you get to where you needed to be, twos and fews add up. And God told us that in this time, a lot of people were not going to be able to work. Well, once these companies start shutting down, you're not going to have money to buy things. So whatever you already don't have, it's going to be very, very hard to get it. So while everybody else was out tricking off their money on weird stuff, we didn't have to. Sucker ran into a lady in Walmart because she saw me getting mason jars, and we talked about 45 minutes, and she said she's going to start prepping because it looks like we got to go back to the old days. Little house on the prairie. Didn't know that, Deja. That's good to know. Locked in. Come on. I screenshot all that information. Listen. It's a real thing. This is why I begged y'all to go get a farmer's almanac too, because it tell you what time the sun come up and what time it set. So if you have to put out your solar panels so that you can maximize the sunlight that you get, you need to know exactly what time the sun is going to set and it is going to rise every single morning. If you plan on traveling, you need a farmer's almanac, because then you'll know how many days of sunlight how many hours of sunlight that you got from what time to what time, depending on where you are in the country or in the world. Everybody need a farmer's almanac. Everybody. Okay? It's an important thing because we might not have no batteries for watches. You see what I'm saying? We don't know what's going to happen. But a farmer's almanac is going to tell you what time the sun, what if we can't be on the roads after 7? Learn how to use the sundial. Niecy Pooh. Auntie ain't so crazy for buying this watch now, huh? Tell me the longitude and latitude. It also has a compass on the inside, so I know which way I'm going. Which way is north and which way is south, you said. Remember when folks was laughing at me, asking me what I was going to do with it? I'm going to be able to tell time, nigga. Hello. This was not a crazy buy, was it? I talked to a couple in Walmart. They asked me about the canned meat I was buying. I told them about prepping in the Bible. I ended up talking to the 9 people. Come on, we had a whole Bible study. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. My stepdad is a trucker, and he taught us about the rose compass and how to read it. Maps when we were kids. Yeah, it's a real thing, y'all. Listen. I'm just happy. Y'all make me real, real proud. And y'all realize that we might save some other people. We don't know what we about to have to do. Harry and Harriet Tubmans. Remember we talked about that? I said y'all don't even know y'all Harry and Harriet Tubmans right now. Hello. Do you feel like it now? You had to travel a road that nobody maybe in your family was traveling in order to tell everybody how to get to preparedness right now. Yes or no? Feel like Harry or Harriet Tubman now? Because I know them family members calling and trying to make conversation about little things like what they should get just in case. But you remember, the other slaves was trying to, and her husband was telling her he gonna tell master if she leave. Hello? So nigga, we got to put you to sleep. Remember they was telling her, just stay. You just need to keep thinking like everybody else thinking. Why did you think about that? Don't worry about that. You need to just stay here and stay with the group. You hear me? For real. Do you hear me? I'm trying so hard not to go to Walmart, but I'm going to have to ask forgiveness on the boycott. You better get your stuff. Get your stuff. Get it from wherever you got to get it from. Because. Get it. Period. If you can go buy 20 pounds of pasta and ziplock it or put it in some, because that's going to be a huge thing, pasta, y'all. Y'all need to have as much pasta as you can. Pasta, beans, and rice. You hear me? Pasta, beans, and rice, lifesavers. Yeah. This is the thing. I'm just grateful that we listened. And I'm going to keep saying that over and over and over and over and over and over again. Ain't families talking like that now? Uh-oh, but will not be knocking on my door. I'm with you when you're right. I'm with you when you're right. You hear me? I'm with you when you're right. I told y'all feelings was gonna change. You hear me? Where can you get what from? I got this one from Amazon. You talking about this watch? Amazon. It's big too. Buying blackout screens and 60-gallon trash bags to cover windows now. Come on, auntie. Still don't think fire starters and stuff like that are going to be important? A way to dig a hole? We talked about being able to bust out windows to get out of a burning house, having emergency ladders, all of these things. Yeah. Listen, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for every bit of information that God has brought here through every last one of the people that we have in our class. All the stuff y'all done seen, like Queen telling us about the shape-shifting community up there near her. Okay? All of the different things that we've talked about, just random sightings. Isabel sending us the fairy. Like, all of the information that we used to exclude, by us including it, we see the bigger picture. And I'm grateful for that. You hear me? I'm grateful for that. God did not have to tell us nothing. He didn't. He didn't have to tell us about the beans. He didn't have to tell us about the big beautiful bill. He didn't have to tell us nothing. He didn't have to tell us that the grocery stores wasn't going to be there, that the hospitals we wasn't going to have access to, that the medical professionals, all of this. He didn't have to tell us nothing. And now they got this virus and they putting people on lockdown already. What was it, India or somewhere? We watched that the other day too. Didn't we? But this time, you got to think. Folks is already talking about going on strike at the piers. We already looked at that from the West Coast all the way up to the Northeast. They talking about these port strikes that's about to happen again. All of this is August, September, October. That part, and one in the house, right? Think about it. So what if they put us on a lockdown in the next 4 months? Don't forget, ain't nobody to work them fields. Remember how people started tripping over vegetables during COVID because the food was rotting. You hear me? But ain't nobody been working the fields really since before January. Y'all done seen plenty of posts where they said the food is rotten. So come the fall into Christmas, we don't know what it's going to look like. Remember? And you still don't want to prepare. You still don't want to get nothing. You still don't want to put money to the side and make sure that you got some type of food dehydrator or something. It's scary. Very, very scary. I ain't gonna keep y'all because I got to go run some errands, but we will have class when I get back. I had wrote down some stuff, but I think this is the way that God wanted us to go, so that we can get our lives together. Maybe that's why He's been giving us time to just check all of our stuff, make sure everything works. Okay, the word is wording. Is Mari? Is we living in a pop-up book? The word is alive in our life, is it not? People say, "Oh, it's just stories," and now they're coming out saying, "Well, not really." So we didn't want to tell y'all that everything was real. We didn't want to scare y'all, but yeah, we got dragons flying around right now. The Bible tells us to pray not that our flight takes place in winter. Folks gonna be hungry. Listen, folks don't got waterproof boots. They ain't got no real coats and stuff that's thick, that's gonna weather that. They don't got hats. They don't got gloves because everybody too worried about being cute, which is crazy. What about being warm? What about staying dry? These things. The best one ever, and with the main cast, with the good wigs, makeup, and the beards. This part, Mari, that just made the hair on my head, my body stand up. True reality TV is, listen, it's a real thing. So I love y'all. I'm gonna see y'all in a little bit. I gotta go do some things real quick. You said there's a lot of clearance going on at Walmart on canned goods and seasonings. Thank you. Thank you. Folks got to get up and go look and know if they want it, they gonna find it. That's where we at right now with that. So I'll see y'all in a little bit. Okay? I gotta go run and do something real quick and then I'll be back. See y'all in a minute. I love y'all. Thank you for listening. Okay? Thank you for listening. Yep. See y'all later.